Right, so the bearing of a point K from a point L is 84. Usually they put 0.84 degrees, all right? Calculate the bearing of L from K. So we must remember the cardinal points and the angles between them, right? So just to revise, this is 0, 0, 0 degrees. Then we have our 0, 90 degrees. Then we have our 180 degrees. And we have our 270 degrees and all the parts in between, right? For you to do your bearing, you must start at a north line and go clockwise. So let's do that. So we have a point K and we have a point L, the bearing of a point K from L. So that means our bearing is in the corner of L, right? So from L is 0.84, so that's right a little below the 90 degrees, right? So I'll say like somewhere here, yeah? So if I put K and I put L and I make a straight line, if I put my north line at K, I'll have to go all the way around here to create that bearing. And we see that that red circle is not 0.84 degrees because that would be like 270 degrees, right? So that is our indicator that our L is in the wrong place. So let's switch it and see. Let's put L here and let's put K here. So make your note, always make a note line by L and then go clockwise. So this is an average for the 0.84 degrees, right? Everybody got that? Any questions? Right, so now they want the bearing of L from K. So now we're going to create our north line at K and we're going to go clockwise and touch back the LK line. So we want inside of here. How to work out how much is that? Any ideas?
Miss, we subtract 84 from 180.
To get where? 84
Miss,
from?
360.
So this entire thing represents 360, right? The circle, yeah?
Yes, Miss.
We need to figure out how much is this part.
Oh, okay, Miss. So the first thing I said, 84 from 180.
Why?
Miss, because 84 and the angle that was before are co-interior angles.
Very good. So according to circle geometry, when you have two parallel lines, right? And you have angles between those two parallel lines, they are called co-interior angles. And co-interior angles sum to 180 degrees. So therefore, if I want the value of the angle for theta 1, I have to subtract it. So I'll say theta 1 is equal to 180 degrees minus 84 degrees. Because this angle and this angle must give me 180 degrees. So that is 96 degrees. Any questions here? Any questions on the co-interior angles? This is a rule, all right? So theta 1, I'm putting another line, plus theta 2 is equal to 180 degrees. So now that we have theta 1 is equal to 96 degrees, someone else, what do we do now?
We subtract 96 from 360.
We subtract 96 from 360 because we see a full circle is formed. So theta will be equal to 360 degrees minus 96 degrees, which is how much? Come on.
It's 264 degrees.
Any questions here? So Solange, you took time off to comb the hair. You came with the hair comb and then you just let it loose. What happened? What was the process?
First, I wasn't really into comment. Miss, I just comment on and leave it just so it's not about that.
I like the afro. Any questions? Okay, so we could attempt one now, right? All agree? Or you all want another one? Hello, people who just stare at the screen and don't answer. Would you all like another one or you're ready to attempt one? Okay, I guess I make the decisions. I made a change, right? To the degrees. All right, so you all could go ahead and do this for me, please. I must say, y'all, so far, the grades are really, really good. Like y'all put in the work. You ready? All right, let's start. Who wants to start the question for me? I'm drawing, am I putting SP left, right? Which one left, which one right? The 2
Left,
points.
left,
Uh-huh.
right, P. You're playing right. You're playing P on the right, S on the left.
Okay, so the bearing of a submarine, S from P, so which corner is my angle? Someone else, which corner is my angle?
Miss by P.
By P. So I make my node line and I go clockwise. And I put my 325 here, which looks about good of an average. No. So that means we need to be slanted a little, right? So this could go down a little. Yeah, because that was a 270. So we need to pass 270. So it's a slanted line. P. So this more looks like it, right? So 325 degrees. All right, state the bearing of port P from S. So now we go back and we create a node line by S. And we go here. All right, how to work that out? Theta. So in order for us to find that, what we need to find?
Need to
Someone-
find theta 2.
Theta 2, which is where?
The co-interior angle next
So
to
inside of here, that completes my circle, theta 2. So how to work out the value of theta 2?
360 minus 325.
Very good. because that's one circle there. Right, which gives us how much?
35.
So theta 2 is 35 degrees. So how much is theta?
Miss 188 degrees subtract 35 degrees.
Very good, because theta and theta 2 are co-interior angles, so that means they must sum to 135. So if one part is 35, the other part is 180 minus 35, which is
145.
one how much?
45.
All right, any questions here? How many of you got that correct? Slim to none? Any QA looking up in the sky for? All right, so let's go again. So more hands will be raised, all right? Are we ready? No? Okay.
Excuse me, Miss. Can a bearing be negative?
No, there are no negative degrees. All right, which point is left, which point is right? Leah, which point is left, which point is right?
Would A be left and P be right?
All right. So if I do this and I make this, where is it? 164. So would this be 164? How would I draw my 2 points? So remember, we have to go back to this. And remember 90, 180, 270. So that means 164 is somewhere here, right?
Yeah.
Right, so where would my points be? So we kind of have top and bottom. So which one are the top, which one are the bottom?
P at the top, A at the bottom.
P at the top, A at the bottom. Nice. So we see that, right? We have to follow the cardinals. So if I put P and I put A, connect them. Now I make my note line at P because it's from P, right? Make my note line at P. And I go like this. That's like average. It could be a little bit more like here, right? Close. But you know, it's just a sketch. You don't need to be worried about it being perfect, right? But you just know it's before the 180. Right, so 164 degrees. What do they want? They want back from A. So we're going back around here. So far it's the same rules, right? We find theta 1. And how much is theta 1? What's the value? Solange, what's the value of theta 1?
Miss, I had one, since it's interior, Miss, I had 180, take away 164, giving me 16 degrees.
How much?
16 degrees.
16 degrees. All right, thank you. Now, how do we find theta 2? Which is the actual bearing? Someone else.
360 subtract 16.
360, take away 16. How much is that?
If 344.
344 degrees. Make sure we put in our degrees. Any questions here? Are we good? Ask a question if you have a question. Remember, your effectiveness with the question is based on you saying if you don't understand, right? Speak up. Are we good? So, all right, let's hit the next question. Anybody get this correct without my help? I don't know. You'll get whatever. No, let me just say whatever because y'all shock me sometimes. Jewel, you have a question? No? So whoever gets this correct, I don't know. You're all good. You're all good. You can do the next question. You can teach the next question. So it's easy. Just take your time. And remember, mathematics is a way of logically thinking your way through things. So they give you information and they want you to come up with something. So you have to analyze it, make sense of it, think, and create, right? Calculate the bearing on which a yacht sails from harbor if it finishes 48 kilometers west and 100 kilometers out. So what we do is we have to follow the directions they would have given us. We make a point and we go west of that point and we label it 48 km. And then from that, the end of that 48, we go down 100, right, km. And because we know that we're dealing with bearings, we connect the starting point and the ending point. So that's why we connected S with E. I just call it S, start and end. You could call it different letters, right? That's fine. Just remember which one is which one. So I put S as my harbor point because that's where I started. The boat is leaving harbor and it's going on its journey. So S is the starting and E is where the yacht ends, right? So they want the bearing of the yacht from the harbor. So that will be the bearing of E from S, right? All of that is what we have to think through in the question. So we create our note line at S, go clockwise to find that bearing area. And in order for us to find the bearing of E from S, we realize that we have a theta 1 and a theta 2 to find the value of. We see that theta 1 is a 90-degree angle because it's between two straight lines, so we put that. Then in order for us to find theta 2, we could use the rules of a right angle triangle under the trig of tan. So the opposite line is 100, the adjacent line is 48. So we worked out theta 2, which is 64.36 degrees. So now that we have two missing angles from our full 360, to find that outside bearing, we added the two angles and we subtracted it from 360 degrees. So a lot of working, but a lot of working that we had to think through for ourselves, use logic, use knowledge to get there. So let us attempt another question. The question says, from a point P, the bearing of a tree is 60 degrees. So that's one part there. So we have P, the bearing is in P, so I'm going to put it on the left. And there's a tree, I'm going to put it a little higher because I want a 60-degree angle, which is going to be according to the points. This is 90, so my 60 is going to be like somewhere right here, right? Average. So I have my P, I'm going to draw it big for you all, and my T, and my lines that are going to connect them. I'm going to put my north line at P. And I'm going to make my 60 degrees right here. Good so far? So from a second point, Q, which is 200 meters due east of P. So I have a second point that is 200 meters due east of P. So according to that, if we do it on the graph, 1 centimeter represents 20. So that is how many boxes we have to go across? 10, right? So I don't have a graph, so I'll just go across 10 boxes. If you all had done it on the graph, I'm sure a lot of you all would have gotten through. So I go across about 10 boxes, which will carry me somewhere like here. So this is my Q. And of course, I have to connect my T and my Q, right? Because it's a journey. But they said from a point Q, which is 200 meters east of P, the bearing of the tree is 330 degrees. So I am going to create a TQ line because a bearing is going to happen there, right? Oh, whoa, whoa. Right, so I have something like looking like this, and I put up my bearing line. And I go like this all the way to my T line. So they say that this is 330 degrees. So what do I know now? This is all the information they gave me. They want the distance from T to Q, which is this line here. The distance of the tree from P, sorry, so the next line. So they want this line here. What do we know? How do we go about working this out? Anybody?
Miss, you find the angle within the triangle.
What angle within a triangle?
Miss, since when you form the north line by P, it is 90 degrees. 90
Very
degrees.
good. So here creates a 90 degrees. So inside of here would be theta 1. So theta 1 is actually 90 degrees minus 60 degrees. So that's 30 degrees there. Nice. So theta 1 is equal to 30 degrees. What do we do now? So we need to find some kind of information for this, right? Because we need to find a line and we need some information for the triangle. So what do we do now? What else we could find? I want you all to help me think this through. So we got 30 degrees on each side. Anywhere else we could find?
Miss, on my graph, when I did on graph before, it's like a right angle, kind of.
Okay.
So
Where you got your right angle?
miss, from like T to Q. Miss, I don't mean like on the triangle. I mean the shape. Right triangle was a kind of right angle triangle.
So I could create an outline at T, right? Yeah? What is happening? I could create an outline at T. Great. And I could figure out how much here is, right? How much is that part there? Theta 2. The bearing was 330. So how much would theta 2 be? Go ahead, Leo.
Where are we checking again?
How much?
Checking.
Can't hear you. Leo. Matthew. Actually, Joel. How much would theta 2 be? How do we go about finding theta 2? Joel, are you with us?
Sorry, miss. Sorry, I wasn't here. What you asked?
Why you weren't hearing me? What were you doing?
Cause I have noise in the background here.
I was asking, what's the value of theta 2?
In T, go with 360 from 3 to 3.
All right, take away
3 to
330.
from 360, sorry.
Nice, thank you. So 360 degrees minus 330 degrees, because that's a full circle there. So theta 2 is 30 degrees. So how much would up here be by T?
-180 minus 30.
How much?
180 minus 30.
So 180 minus 30 according to the rule. Nice, thank you. 180 minus 30 degrees. So I am doing all the work in as though I have no information, right? So that's 150 degrees, right? So how much is across here? So you see, we just jumping all over, right? How much is on this side? Theta 4.
$120.
180 minus 60, which is 120 degrees. Yeah? All right, so we have a lot. So because I have these two at the top, I can find this. How much is that? Theta 5. Huh?
360 minus 270.
360 degrees minus 120 plus 150, which is
90.
90 degrees. Awesome. So 90 degrees. So this is a right angle triangle, right?
Miss, I think that's what Shaniqua was trying to tell you.
I know that's what she was trying to say. I was giving the work in for it. Yeah, outside of the graph, because you could easily see that it's two straight lines connected on the graph for those of you who did it on the graph. So good job, Shaniqua. So what do we do now? We want to find the distance of TQ. So because we know it's a right angle triangle, we can use one of the rules. We have a line, we have many different angles. We have a 30. We can find this missing angle inside of here, theta 6. How much would theta 6 be? $180 minus 90 plus 30, right? Because it's a right, well, we have two angles, so that's 60 degrees inside of here, 60. So we have all the angles. So how to find TQ? T is here. The distance of T. No, why I keep saying TQ? How do we find the distance TP? Hey, this line here is what they want us to find. How do we find that line? What do we use?
It's cos.
So which angle are we using? We can use different angles. Which angle are we using? The 30 or the 60?
Yes, I use the 30.
30. So that'll be opposite over.
Hypotenuse.
So how does cos?
Miss the 30. Miss adjacent over.
If we use any 30, that'll be opposite over hypotenuse. Remember, this is the right angle and the hypotenuse will be the opposite line. Yeah? So the opposite will be TP over 200, which is the hypotenuse.
Miss Auntie.
Huh?
Okay, miss.
Why am I still finding TQ? I have no idea why I'm trying to find TQ. So, okay, great. It will be adjacent over hypotenuse because TP is the adjacent. So what's adjacent and hypotenuse? Which string?
Miss cos.
Right. So cos 30 is equal to adjacent, which is TP, over 200. So that will be 200 cos 30, which is how much? How much is that? TP. So that
Miss 173.2. 1.
0.2 is fine. Meters is equal to TP. So all the hard work was really about drawing a diagram, right? It's important. If you were doing it without the graph, it would have been important for you to know to carry your Q point further than your T point, because a lot of you probably would have said, well, this is P, this is T, my Q could be right here, right? But when they tell you the bearing is 330, if I do this, I'll have to connect that line here and make the 330. So it will be a little further, right? Just a little bit, right? So it's all about knowing your placements, right? And that was basically the hard part, knowing the drawing, and then everybody else could have figured out the angles of the triangles using the 180, using the co-interior angles, using the 360, etc. Do we have any questions? Matthew, wake up. Put on your camera. Any questions, y'all? Shaniqua, why is your camera off? Are we good to move on? Are we good to move on? Everybody wrote down everything, understand everything. Need 2 minutes to soak it in. Do you have any questions, Leah? Leah? All right. Determine the distance traveled north and the distance traveled west by a car driving on a bearing of 325 degrees for 87 kilometers. So I'm going to start. I want you all to talk me through this question. I'm going to put a point in the middle of my screen. This is the car. This is the car. Where am I going from here, Jewel?
I think you have to go up because they say travel to north.
What's that?
I think you have to go up because they said travel north.
All right, so we're going up. Someone else, thank you. Shamaya, where are we going now?
West.
We're going where?
West.
West. That's left, right? Where are we going now, Solange? Or what are we doing now?
Lord.
What you lost about the two lines we have on the screen?
Miss, you writing the bearing now?
Yeah.
Miss, will we draw next north line and then draw the bearing from there?
All right. So what's the line of drawing and where? Where's the next line?
Ah, no, miss. So on line, the west line, it draw a circle coming around to make the 325 in a clockwise motion.
On the west line, I'm drawing this line here.
I'm confused.
So remember, okay, so they gave you the journey. We went north, we went west. So the starting is the star at the bottom and the ending is the star up on west, right? So that's the end of the journey. So close it off now. What line would close it off? What line would show the bearing? What line would show the bearing? How do we draw bearing lines? What do we connect to draw bearing lines? What point and what point?
Starting and ending point.
Right, so where would I draw my line?
From the west line to the north line.
So this. Yeah? Any questions there? All right, so I am going to just call it S and E, know how it is, all right? Where my bearing will be now, from where to where? So they said the bearing of a car, 325 degrees. So the ending from the starting, right? Always from your starting point. So my bearing is going to be on this straight line. So this is my north line, and my bearing is going to be from here to here. Any questions? And how much is that? 325, which it looks like 325, give or take, right? Where would I put my 87 kilometers, Aniq? Where would I put my 87 kilometers?
On the line from meters.
Very good. So 87 kilometers, my journey line, right, represents the bearing line. All right, nice. What they asked for us to find? The distance from the distance north. So here, so the distance from south to north and north to east. Easy, go ahead. I do the hard part for you. All right, we should at least we finish with the first one. First step, Matthew?
Let's just solve it for the rest of the class.
All right, how much is that?
360 minus 325, and you get 35.
All right, so we have 35 degrees. Everybody have that? So we know that this is 90, and we could also find this part if necessary, not really necessary. But theta 2 is how much? Just to show you all how to think through things. Theta 2 would be 180 minus 90 add 35, which is how much? What's the answer?
It's 55 degrees.
55 degrees. So we have all that we need to work out NS and EN. So let's go. SN or NS, anyone? SN is, how to work out SN? Choose your angle, choose your two lines. Which angle are we using, Solange?
Angle 1. Angle S. I mean N.
What's the amount?
$35 degrees.
All right, which trig are we using for that 35? Or two lines?
SN and NE.
SN and
EN.
do you have the value of EN? So right now we're using SOHCAHTOA, right? So what two lines would be used to find out the value of NS? So we want to work out the length of Sn. What would we use? Which one of the trigs would we use?
ES
Mm-hmm.
cosine.
So cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Cosine 35 is equal to what's my adjacent?
Sn is the adjacent and
Sn over what's my hypotenuse?
87.
All right, so I'm going to end up with 87 cosine 35. I don't want to coax you up for the answer next time, huh? So Sn is equal to how much? Aniki, why are you staying at the screen like a teacher in Spanish today?
No reason.
87 cosine 35 is how much?
75.34.
Did I press something wrong? Check that over, please.
71.
71.2, how much? 2, how much?
7.
27. And this is kilometers. All right, so now let's find the length of NE. Leah, which trig would I use? Choose your angle and tell me which trig you're using. Which angle are you using? Leah. Leah, which angle would you like to use? Earth to Leah, Charles. All right, Aniki, which angle would you use?
Call me, miss.
Yeah, which angle would we use to work out NE, the length of NE?
anything about.
35.
All right, which two lines? We can use any one, right? Just choose which one you're using. All right, let's try the 55. See, now we just use the 35. So what would we use for the 55? Actually, let's use the 35. Sorry, because we'll be using this evening. Go to 35. What's my two lines for the 35? Therefore, what trig would we be using? Aniki, lost you. You're still muted.
Talking to me?
Yes, Aniki, I'm talking to you still.
Sorry, Mr. Song and so I know it's in the background.
What trick would you use to find that NE? You said you're using 35. So what two lines do you have for the 35?
35, yes, right?
Yeah.
Tangent.
Is what we do.
Which line are you trying to find?
NE.
All right. So what two lines would you use?
87 and
After tonight,
SN.
keep winning.
So how you will find NE if you use an SN? So 87 and what?
Miss, and you could use the sine rule.
The sine
Or one of
rule.
them.
Okay, tell me what two lines you're using. You told me 87 and what else?
87 and you could use 87 and the NE, right?
Thank you very much. All right, so what trig is that? Oh, wow, I see all the revision you did. It's just
Okay.
glowing on your face. What's the NA line?
You mean the angle for NE?
No, what is the name of the NE line? Like opposite adjacent hypotenuse, for us to choose what trig we're using? So for 35, NE is which one of your lines?
The opposite.
The opposite. So you're using the opposite, and what is the 87? The
Adjacent.
87 is the adjacent?
No. And using 35?
Yeah. So what is 87 to 35?
The hypotenuse.
How? See, that's me guessing.
And Jack.
How? Huh?
87 and 87 is the hypotenuse.
Yeah, how?
Because they're connected to the angle.
That's how we determine a hypotenuse connection to the angle. How to determine the hypotenuse line? Kids, this is what lack of revision gets you. Nothing. You need licks. How to identify the hypotenuse line, yo?
Nice longest line on a triangle.
But sometimes it's easy to
That's opposite.
the 90 degrees. Yeah, so that's how we know the hypotenuse is opposite the 90 degrees. Yeah, Anikil?
Yeah.
So let's finish this, Anikil. What am I writing? So what two lines am I using?
Yeah, SE and NE.
SE and NE. What's the name of those two lines?
The opposite.
And the opposite and the opposite.
Hypotenuse.
So what trig is that?
Tangent. So
You need this?
no, not now.
What two lines you need? What two lines you use in Anikil? Opposite and what? Opposite and what?
Hypotenuse.
What trig uses opposite and hypotenuse?
Sine.
All right, sine. So sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Sine what? Help me fill it in, please.
Sine 35. Opposite. 56. 55.
What?
The angle. Oh, no. Sorry, wrong thing.
What's my hypotenuse?
87.
87. I'm very proud of your behavior right now, Aniki. Extremely. Cross multiply. What's the answer for that, please?
$49.996.
49 point, I'll just leave it at 49.9 km is equal to the length of from north to east. Any questions here?
No, miss, but it takes a lot of practice because I still in like totally get it, but yeah, practice.
Well, you know, I can practice for you, all right? So you all need to continue work. So we have a prime example of not putting in your work. Give him a round of applause, right? Anakil, thank you for taking longer than you should have because you need links, right?
Yes, sir.
Anakil, don't do that, right? Don't play with your memory, right? Do your revision, and that goes to everyone else. Things that you all should be rolling off your tongue, right? I shouldn't have to be giving you all the baby steps. Oh, what is the opposite? Oh, what is the hypotenuse? Oh, which angle? Oh, no, you all should be just spitting that out for me, right? Because we've done plenty examples. And I expect you all to be responsible and do your part, right? Let's not keep back the class because of our lack of revision, not our lack of understanding, right? Let's do another question. Do you all need a break?
Yes, miss.
We now start though.
No, what?
2 hours and 11 minutes, actually.
Actually, it's now just about 2 hours because we started like we were talking for the first 11 minutes. So I thought you all took your break at the start of class when we were talking.
We can't
All
take
right,
a
we're
break.
taking a break right here. So you all have like about 5 minutes.
Miss, if we're taking a break, you can't take back the time after. So if that's your plan, we should just continue.
So continue. No. Take the break. We're already here for like 11 past 15, 9:15 anyway. So you can take the 5 minutes.
Quarter past who?
9:15 who? 9:15 what? 9:15 how? We're starting, we're doing 3 hours from our start time, or we started about 9:15.
Miss, I have school in the morning. No?
Me too.
Miss, the dying on my foot. You just want to be a kid.
Hold on. Three tongues, P, Q, and R. P at the top, Q, bottom, R, right of Q. As such that the bearing of P from Q is 70 degrees, R is 10 kilometers due east. So we have the 10 and we have PQ is 5 p.m. We have that in. So the only part we don't have in is the bearing P from Q is 70 degrees. So where do we put that in? Somebody tell me, please. Go ahead, Jewel.
Miss, I heard my name. Miss, what you said?
Where would I put in the 70 degrees?
in angle Q, I think.
Where? Inside angle Q?
Yeah, I think it's inside.
It's a bearing, right?
No, oh no, outside. Sorry, outside. We have the N between N and
Right.
Q. Here.
So we make our note line and we hit here and it's 70 degrees. Nice. So without me prompting you all, give me correct answers now. What do? We're trying to find PR. Highlighting the line, this is the line we're trying to find. Somebody who has an idea, not just somebody.
Let's find angle Q. And
Find angle Q. All right, how do we do that?
that's 90 degrees, subtract 70.
So I can say PQR, angle PQR is equal to 90 degrees, subtract 70 degrees. Very good, because our right angle is formed between those two straight lines, which is 20 degrees. Very good. So 20 degrees inside here. All right. One step down, someone else, how do we go about finding PR? So we see already that PR is not, oh, let me find PR one time. Sometimes we have to take a step back and put in missing information. So it's like a process, right? So we found the 20. Now, is there anything else, or we have a way to work out PR now? Matthew. Leah, actually. Leah. Leah, are you back?
Yeah, ma.
All right, how would I go about, what would I do with this question? Now I'm trying to find the distance PR, which is the green highlighted line.
Miss, it can't have a 90 degree angle. Anyways, yeah, you stand.
Who said it's a right angle triangle?
Oh, my.
We don't know for sure if it's a right angle triangle because we don't know angle R. We don't know this angle, and therefore we don't know this angle. So we can't assume it's a right angle triangle. So another method, Leah. So see, now we don't know it's a right angle triangle from watching the triangle. Me saying, well, okay, it's probably not a right angle triangle. When we're dealing with stuff that is not right angle triangles, what methods come to mind, Leah? How do we work out missing lines and angles of triangles that are not right angle triangles? Leah, still talking to you. Let's unmute and get that going, right? What do we use? Jewel, what do we use? Jewel, are you with me?
Miss, I hear, and they're like 5 minutes after because I hear common name again.
All right, how to go about working PR, working out PR, what would we use?
We ended up
Cosine
with
rule,
a
no?
shattered unit on the
Jewel. Thank you, Anaki. Cosine rule, right? Cosine rule, we have two lines and an angle in between. So PR squared is equal to At this point, y'all, in questions like these, everything we would have learned before is going to come into play. Bearings, cosine rule, sine rule, Pythagoras theorem, rules for trigs, for right angle triangles, which is SOHCAHTOA. All of these things are going to come in, and I believe that I taught these things in detail so that we can see it and go forward now, right? This is not, in this class is not the time to be doing revision. All right. So we'll have, I just call them common P, and I'll call this common R. So it will be P squared plus R squared minus 2PR cosine 20, right? So we use the two lines. We use the 20 in between to find the opposite line, which is the PR. This line and this angle must match up, right? So PR squared is equal to 10 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 by 10 by 5 by cosine 20. What's the final answer for PR squared?
Miss 31.031.
For PR squared, not PR, right?
Yes, miss.
All right. All right, thank you, 31.03. Now PR will be the square root. So that's going to be the square root of 31.03, which is
5.57 kilometers.
5.57 km, but they said to 1 decimal place, so that would be
5.6.
5.6 km, and I can put this in right here. Any questions, anyone? Anything that a little confused, you just need a little clarity about? All right, so the minute we identify those two lines and the angle in between, it should click cosine rule, especially when the line that we want is opposite the angle that we have. We know for sure cosine rule. And we use cosine rule and sine rule when we are dealing with non-right angle triangles, right? So we see here nothing indicates, even though it looks like the previous question where we had the 90 degrees up there, nothing in this question indicates that it is a 90 degree. So we cannot assume that it is. So all right, given that angle QPR, where is angle QPR? Where would we put angle QPR?
Miss by P.
No problem. By P. So we have 142. Everybody knows how to identify where to put an angle. So we start at Q, we go up to P, we go down to R, and it's going to be in between those two lines, right? So 142, state the bearing of R from P. Leah, are you with me, Leah? So you'll hear me calling more Form 5s, right? Because I know that you'll have to get it, all right? So when I call on the Form 5s, because I want to ensure that you guys understand first and foremost, everybody, yeah, but more so the Form 5s, right? No time for you all to not understand. Leah, are you with me? Okay, Jewel, again, any other form 5 here? No, so Jewel,
Yes,
how do
miss.
we go about working out the bearing of R from P? Tell me how to write in my bearing. The bearing of R from P. Where would my
This
bearing be?
is the angle between P and N. Well, no, the other way around. N to R line, the N to the R line, I think.
So from north to the R line, nice.
Yes, miss.
Okay, so we need to figure out that. How do we figure out that? I'll call it theta 1. How to find out theta 1?
Miss, your minus R from 360, the 142.
So you see in a full circle there, so I could just minus 142 from 360 and get my answer.
Oh no, that's not possible.
All right.
Miss,
Where
180.
we have,
You try 180.
what we trying
142
180 for? Huh?
42 minus 180.
142 minus and 180, you know?
At
So what
180.
missing part of the circle we have? We did a lot of these questions earlier, Jewel. So you should as well be splitting it off. What part of the circle is missing? This part, right?
Yes, miss.
How to find that part of the circle? How to find that angle on that side there?
I remember we were drawing the circle and we put the line thing at the beginning of the notes.
All right, so how to find that angle up there that we just highlighted?
It was 27. I think it was 27 when we started. Yeah, I think there were 27.
Hmm?
At the beginning of the note, when we did the circle thingy and then did the lines, I remember putting 27 on that side, or we putting 27 on that side. So I think it's 27. One.
Which 27? 27 from where?
I mean from, I think it's on the P, the side of the P, the blue line that you have there.
I don't know what 27 you're talking about. No part of the question have a 27. Somebody tell me how to find that angle in blue there, please. Solan, Anikil, go ahead. Howard?
Subtracting 70.
It's
Subtracting 70 from 180
Why is that?
because it's on 190
And what's the name of that?
of the line.
Of the rule that you're doing, subtracting it from 180.
Is the name of the rule.
Shemaya, what's the name of the rule? Solange, what's the name of the rule?
Okay.
Co-interior.
Co-interior angles. Thank you. So because two north lines, the 70 and the angle that we just created here, they are co-interior angles. So therefore we can subtract 70. So 180 subtract the 70 will give us 110 degrees, which will be up here. Jewel, familiar?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. Why did you forget that? And we did so many questions with that today. Let me scroll up and count. I want you all to realize. Where? 1, the 60 and the 120. 2, the 145 and the 35, 3, 96 and 84. Yeah, a couple, right? Most of the questions so far we use co-interior angles. So I would, I would have liked you all to identify it by now. All right. 110 degrees. Great. So we have 110 degrees up here. So now that we have 110 degrees, what do we do, Jewel? Why everybody current going tonight? Shemaya, where Shemaya living?
Shugona.
Shugonas. Jewel, where you living?
Yeah, Shogunas, yeah, internet had cut and come back. Well, the current itself cut and come back on.
You'll need to move up north. We welcome you. We welcome you. All right, go ahead, Jewel.
I think after that, since it's a full circle now, we can add up 110
Very
and
good.
140.
Jewel, I'll do like Annie Keel, and I'll book all your appointment for some licks, right? When last all I get some licks? Long time. It shows. It shows.
All together. You want to add it up there?
Yes, please. So the bearing, that would be what?
It would be 252.
So 360 degrees minus 110 at 142, which is what's the answer?
That's all. 108.
108. Any questions, anyone? This question was made 2007.
Miss, what if you use, like how you have a kind of line and it has east? Miss, I put a 90-degree angle there. And 90, 110, and 142 to get these small little, like the theta 1 and 2. So I got theta 1 and theta 2 there. And then I found for that, and then I used the 90 and the answer for that to find the bearing.
So you use 90 on top. Let me just outline what you say. You use 90 here, right?
Yes.
What did you use to find theta 2?
Miss, 90, 110, and 142.
But that's more work.
Okay, Miss.
Yeah, because remember, once you have the 110 and you have the 142, you can just subtract and get the whole thing. Yeah? Yeah? Because you use the 110 and 142 to find the missing part and the 90, and you're just going to add up the 90 and the missing part. But we ain't finished with the question though. But good eye, I love when you all are thinking and seeing different ways. It helps a lot in different questions. We ain't finished. We have the 108, which is theta 1. But remember, we want the bearing. Oh yeah, that's the answer. Yeah, the bearing from where? R from P. Yeah, that's the bearing. So 108. Yeah, we're finished. I thought it was like the bearing to Q, but it's the R. All right, we're good? So we have 10 minutes. We could do a lot in 10 minutes. No, we have 25 minutes.
That's a bit of a stress.
Oh, sorry. What you're rushing to do? So go and send a text. Huh? But we know y'all not gonna sleep. Rushing to go on TikTok. Huh? And you could do maths for 25 more minutes. Oh my gosh. All right. Any questions on that though? Leah, are you with me? Leah, so why weren't you answering questions when I was calling out your name? Last question. When you answer, you get to leave, right? Yeah, Annika. So you're excited about leaving. So you sit up and you're ready to answer a question. Eh? All right. So let's leave here before 9:15. Please and thank you. I know you all feel like I just want to stay with you all and do all-nighters, you know, but I have a life as well, right? So we can wrap it up quickly, right? Yeah? All right. We are doing the question on the board that I'm writing right now. What does it mean to be perpendicular?
Perpendicular meaning line LP.
Uh-huh. That was the answer, Jewel?
Well, I think so. Perpendicular meaning like, you know, to each other.
This forms a 90-degree angle.
So it forms a 90, right? So one is a base, one connects on the base and it forms a 90. So if a line is perpendicular to another line, they meet each other at a 90-degree. Private message me your answer on Zoom. I'll tell you to go ahead.
Miss, LP is equal to 12 centimeters and angle.
And angle PLN
Oh, it's like an okay, thanks.
is equal to angle PNL.